When I refer to someone as my ex, I could mean ex-boyfriend, I could mean ex-hookup, I could mean ex-president, I could be talking about Biden or Obama. Fun fact, Obama actually used to follow me on Twitter, but then I started going viral a lot and he did unfollow me. I always wonder what tweet it was that did it. Today we will be talking about dating nightmares in my 20s. One of my exes broke up with me because he said he needed to join the CIA. And here's the thing, maybe he did need to join the CIA, but was it a coincidence that in the weeks leading up to him telling me he didn't want to date me anymore because he needed to be in the CIA, that we had just binged watched 5 seasons of The Americans, a show about sexy Russian spies that make it seem like international espionage is all effing around and having a good time? I don't freaking think so. You might be wondering, did he join the CIA? Not to my knowledge, but that's what he and the CIA would want me to think. So after that, ex dumped me to go be a sexy spy. I got on all the dating apps and I really started trying to enjoy being a single girl in my 20s. I met another one of my exes on Tinder. Here's the thing about me. I was a very naive 22-year-old and I did think that there was like a conversion of 10 hookups equals you're my boyfriend now. And that is actually not how it works. It turns out like someone should be your boyfriend before you start effing them. But like, I just didn't really know that. Like I was like, oh yeah, like if I hook up with this person enough, he will eventually be my boyfriend. And here's the thing is any guy that works on, like any guy who you hook up with him 10 times and then he's like, fine, I'll be your boyfriend. He's not going to be a very good boyfriend. Spoiler alert. One time, one of my exes kicked me out at 3 a.m. because he said he had an early morning, but he literally did not have a job. One of my exes introduced me to his entire family multiple times and then asked me months later if I was looking for anything serious. One of my exes was clearly just interested in finding out more information about my teenage sister who looked like me but with green eyes and is 7 years younger. That man was 7 years older than me. But here's the thing about LA is everyone here is like a freaking PEDO, like low key, and that's just like true. I'm not, not in a QAnon way. I'm just saying the guys here like them young. I always joke that I may not be like a super hot girl, but I actually am a Los Angeles 10 because I look 10 years old and everyone here is a pedophile. Another time, one of my exes kicked me out at 2 a.m. and he offered to call me an Uber. And I was like, okay. But then he was like, actually, my phone is dead, so you have to call your own Uber. And then he was like, while we wait for your Uber, I'll play a song for you. And then he did play me Wonderwall on his guitar. And it was not very good. If there's one thing I learned from dating in my 20s, it is that if a guy is good at guitar, he's cheating on you, and if a guy is bad at guitar, don't worry, he's just trying to. Sex does not equal love. Beware of guys who have really well-trained dogs because they will try to train you too. I had an ex with some really well-behaved dogs, and I would be lying if I said I didn't notice that he would like reward certain behaviors of mine, and I won't elaborate. Basically, when I talk about dating nightmares in my 20s, what I mean is that I was a nightmare in my 20s and I was dating. People are like, men are trash, and in some ways that's true, but in other ways, maybe women are trash monsters, like the Cookie Monster, but with trash. Maybe women are trying to eat trash. Men are trash and women are Wall-E. We think that we can make trash into something beautiful. Is that what Wall-E did? Ultimately, here's the truth. If you want love, you're not gonna find it on Tinder. If you don't know what you and a guy are, that means that you are nothing. Dated a lot of guys who were like, oh, I'll pay for your drinks, but if you want food, you have to pay for that. Dated a lot of guys in their 30s when I was in my 20s who would always say things like, my mom is gonna love you. I obviously never met their mom, but I am sure that she would not have loved me. The one really positive thing about being in my early 20s and dating guys in their early 30s in LA was realizing that anyone with a nice apartment, their parents are paying for it. Young people who seem successful aren't, or at least not the ones that were willing to date me. If I could do anything differently, I wouldn't, because that's not how life works, you know? We are all the product of our mistakes and of our good decisions. A mistake I made was thinking that you could turn a situationship into a boyfriend. You can, but like I said, they will never be a good boyfriend. A good decision that I made was using protection. You can't be out here rawing randos. I've heard it said, like you think that these guys are playing hard to get when really you're just playing hard hard to get rid of. That was definitely me. That definitely summarizes my behavior in my early 20s. I was extremely hard to get rid of. I was like, if these guys don't like me, why do they keep sleeping with me? Because it's freaking easy. If you're gonna date randos in a big city, make sure they're taking you to nice places. Ultimately, I look back on those days and I am really grateful that I was never murdered. That really actually gives me a lot of faith in humanity. There was a lot of men that could have murdered me and didn't. And I think that is a true testament to human kindness. But also a lot of them, I think, would have been way too lazy to murder me. They were really bad at cleaning up their apartments. I doubt they would have been able to clean up my body. If you're watching this video, it is okay to be a messy slut, but be safe. Try to be smart. Don't go to men's houses who you don't know. And if you do, make sure your friends have your location. Don't expect anyone that you meet on Tinder to become your boyfriend. I mean, it's not embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed. Yeah, guys treated me like shit and I let them and I loved it. And I said, treat me like shit even more. But I respect myself now, I think. If you found this interesting or humorous at all, please check out my short film, So Like What Are We, that will be coming out this Valentine's Day on my YouTube channel. It is about the dangers of situationships and how they can potentially be life-threatening. It'll be coming out on Valentine's Day, and it's a great thing to send to a situationship to be like, so like, what are we? Ask that question sooner rather than later. And if you notice that you're putting off asking a guy that you're dating for a label, just know it's because you know the answer in your heart, and it's that he doesn't want to have anything to do with you formally. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe out here, ladies.